We have come, proceed to enter. We have come, see the gates opening. We have come.
So we see the steadfastness of Bayin Hakma, the light surrounding us with understanding and wisdom, cultivating knowledge, causing our roots to go deeper. And if anything, our roots have gone deeper since we were last together. And we see the coccyx and sacral being like a wedge, a root wedge, driven in like a spear. And then coming forth, steadfastness, whereby our ship does not totter, doesn't become overthrown by the waves that we encounter in our lives. And just to give thanks for Yahuwah for the steadfastness, love, and mercy upon us to keep us. And so this Tehillah, I'm going to ask Al Luma to come forward and share with us Tehillah 118, some lines from this. 3 levels of keeping us and preserving us. And we can respond together with the Hebrew phrase, Ki leolam hasdo. Let's just say that together. Ki leolam hasdo. Hasdo.
118. Oh, give thanks to Yahuwah, for he is good, for they are good.
Ki leolam hasdo. Oh, give thanks.
Oh, give thanks.
To the consortium of Yahuwah. For the mercy is everlasting toward us.
Let Israel now say,
Ki leolam hasdu.
Let the house of
Aharon
now say,
Ki leolam hasdu.
Let those who fear Yahuwah now say,
Ki leolam hasdu. Amen. Thank you, brother. Thank you for those words from Yehuda and Shemun. That preserves us according to our numbers. For by our numbers do not perish, and they are kept. The progressions that we go through are kept by the steadfast understanding of Shemun that embodies those thoughts, those numbers together, and produces a hedge, a shield around us of safety. And the idea of steadfastness. This is the year, season, when the offerings of our heart come to the Father of the heart. Gerin ha'urnan hayavusi. This is where Daud came, David came to the threshing floor of Gederon, the stone basin, of Urnan, Hayavusi of mastery, and said, I want to acquire this property to make the altar. And Gerin lovingly said to Daud, you can have it. I will give you the land to build the temple, to build an altar for the sacrifices to Yahuwah. And Daud said, no, I must pay for it. See, someone wants to give you their heart. But in order to receive it, you must give something first. There is this love relationship. You may want the heart of somebody else, but not willing to give all of your heart to receive it. So how can you receive a heart unless you first make room for it? And so Daud said, I will pay you 50 shekels of silver. I will give you the Na'un price. I will give you all that I have, all that is in my heart, to acquire the place for my heart to make its offering. And Gerin Ha'ornan said, this is right. And he received the heart of Daud. and in exchange gave Daud the land, the heart, to make the oila. It is the first elementary stage to doing oila, is to secure the heart for the consortium of light, for the name of Yahuwah, to designate your heart for the consortium of the stars, suns, moons, to impact your light, to invigorate it, to illuminate it, to unfold all mysteries that are hidden therein. Translations say the heart is deceitful above all things, but we know that's a lie. The heart is not deceitful above all things. The tongue is. The heart is a mystery above all things, is a proper rendering. We cannot attribute any credit to Shaitan, Satan, or adversary to our Father, Garen Ha'ordan Hayabusi. Our Father is generous. He has no deceit. In the 9th position of the hills of Yah, Garen Ha'ordan is there to welcome all newcomers of ascension. This is where Nuach lands on the mountain of Ararat. Mountain Ararat, or Ararat, is the base level of 9 to bring forth the 8 souls to come up to Garen Ha'ornan Hayabusi to make the oila. And it's this place when the souls ascend of Nuach and comes to Hahar of Urat, or Mount Ararat, that Nuach makes the first oila upon the platform of the heart to make the ascensions. Then also to this hill we come to Mount Gilboa. Mount Gilboa is where King Shaul, after many struggles with Daud, struggles with his own life, struggles with evil spirits that Daud tried to minister to him and drive them away to clear his mind of confusion. King Shaul, the first of the house of Enlightenment, comes to Mount Gilboa, 2nd level, and falls upon the sword. Finally gives way to the quest of letting the word from the heart penetrate into him and resolve all of his fame and pseudo-ambition, and give way to the mastery of Daud to come forth. And then at the apex of this mountain, Har Oivel, Mount Ebal, is where the regulation of mastery comes. Thus it is unto Garen Ha'ornan Hayabusi, unto the mastery of processing your words, that you will regulate your members, cultivate them to be productive unto the blessings of Gerizim, directly across, that we, upon whose hills we sojourned the day before. Now we have progressed and we've come to this 9th hill, to Garen Ha'ornan Hayabusi. Our heart will not come back to this place until 6 months from today. Then the Fetli will come in the morning in the house of Benaiman on the 9th day and make the ascent to show themselves what they have received last night when the Fetli came to the altar of Garen Ha'ornan Hayabusi. As we were doing Oila today, I think Zechariah, who said this is the evening and morning. This is the evening. Last time was the evening of the Fetli. The morning will be 6 months from today, when the Fetli comes in the morning unto the faces of Garen Ha'ornan Hayabusi to make its oila. During that process, we've set in motion what is going to transpire 6 months from now. Every day when you make the oila, 6 months, you will see the results of it. So it's always with anticipation that we make the oila. Not only for today's encounters and setting our members and organizing them to what they are becoming today, what we are going to encounter today, the learning and the experience and the joy of emanating the faces of the fathers, but in anticipation for what it is setting in motion in 6 months, and always perpetual, perpetual, perpetual. All of a sudden you'll be saying something profound or with enthusiasm, and you'll go like, I never heard that before, but it was already sown in you 6 months ago. And then you begin to speak it. You go, wow, that was profound. I've been waiting for that. You have been. It's been cultivated within you from that time of ascension on the altars until bringing it forth in revelation. So brother, you asked for your name to be revealed.
Yes, I did.
For what purpose?
For the purpose to become one with my Father, and one with the universe, and one with all of us, and those that are coming into a place of maturity. Because without the name, you can't bear the fruit. So you have to have the name. I've been on a progressive unveiling, but because of your standard of maturity, you bear the seal to unveil, like it says in the book of Revelation. John said, there's one that has the seals that can open you up, and I believe you carry that. So I'm willing, I'm a servant to my heavenly Yahushua.
And you want the seal broken off your seed.
That's it. So that we could begin to reach mankind.
Amen. Take it to the ends of the earth.
To take it to the ends of the earth.
Hallelujah.
To reach all, kindred, tongue, nation, to create the vastness
Without partiality.
without partiality.
All peoples.
All people,
All species.
all species.
This is your name, brother. Put it on the board here.
Ah.
Okay, you just confirmed the name spoken in Shemayim before you ever made this journey as a servant to come into mankind, to serve the words of consolation, mercy, and grace, the unveiling of their name and their seed and their life within them to the joy of their spirit amongst the collective spirits of the universe. Amen. In the name Menachem Yah, Menachem Yah, rise up, the blessing upon you as all prophecy has been spoken upon you from the time you came forth, from the wombs of the Al-Hakim and Shemayim to this day and forevermore. Your name be sealed, and all your soul be sealed unto your name. Basham Menachem Yah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Yah. Our names carry the fire and the water from Shemayim. Shain Mayim, the fire and water. You may think it is not a compatible relationship, fire and water, but actually they work together harmoniously. Many times through a thunderstorm or rain, fire will break out. And thus it is that the fire within us is provided a place to reside in bodies of water, for that fire to pass through the waters, to draw out what's in the spirit and to come into another level of manifestation. He says it makes it possible for your spirit to make progressions of manifestation because of Shayin Mayim, the Sham of your name. The dwelling states that we reside in are vapors of breath. Thus we are called a vapor, as a ghost. And if we analyze our individual cells, we find that there is really nothing there. There's only this vapor in space. We are assemblies of waters, and every water runs at a certain level and frequency according to the vibrations of your spirit. So the more your spirit is energized, so also your waters are elevated. And your waters enable your spirit to see into the universe. It's like the waters provide means of reflection and to bounce off messages, means to absorb that which is streaming from stars, moons, suns, to cultivate your spirit, all to sustain you for the purposes of providing faces or expressions for your words. The watering a plant causes it to flower and to bring forth its faces, its color, its proliferation. And so the dedication of our waters, the dedication of our emotions, the dedication of our soul cells, which are basically bodies of water in Torah, it's called isles. That is, the ribbon is actually an island. The heart is an island. The kidneys are islands. And Zebulun, it said, the blessing of Zebulun will take your ship, like your Merkabah that your spirit travels in, and you will go from isle to isle. You will travel through the waters of Israel, and you will come out through that process of manifestations and revealing the attributes of your spirit unto a dry land, a place of cultivation of your spirit name. These states are determined by the interactions with the offspring of Aharon. And we have more names now in the kingdom of names for us to interact with, who now have graciously appeared to us, whose names have been elevated out of sacred text, preserved there for generations, but now appearing faces to faces. I'm speaking specifically of the Al-Hahim, or the Quanim of the Al-Hahim, the illuminators of every letter and their faces. Your dwelling states are by the blood in your seed name as it enters into water. Thus, when the transformation of Israel takes place from dwelling in Mitzrayim, Aharon takes the staff and touches the waters of Egypt and turns them to blood. That's what happens when your seed, that little invisible semen, enters into the waters of your mother and turns her waters to blood. And you begin to pulsate within the womb and assemble, weaving yourself a garment to come forth with, to be revealed as the offspring of fire and water.
Oh.
The properties of your seed swirl in the waters to form a state according to the patterns of your name, according to your numbers. The blood flowing within a garment activates and engages your numbers in transformation process. In the fact that there is a place for your numbers of Yehuda to reside in the waters facilitates transformation. The fire affects the waters to continually bring forth the characteristics of the fire of the altar from the ka'ir of the altar in Shemayim. You retain the waters and the fire off of the altars of Al-Hahim, whereby you are the offerings of Al-Hahim. That's what such honor it is, that when you're doing your oila, you are doing it with the Al-Hahim of your name. the Elohim that abide with you, that have provided a place for you to reside, who have looked over you from your beginning as to what you would become. Though the waters are of the light and of the desolations of the fire, they remain as a vapor to embody the fire and its words, for by the weight of glories are seen through them. Think of it when a child comes forth and is born. It comes forth dripping wet. It comes forth as a soft lump of clay, been molded in the womb. Breathing and crying out with its breath the presence of fire. That fire burns within us continually as you blow the breath upon your hand. You feel the heat and the moisture. Yes. On a cold day, which you don't have here in California, but in Indiana, when you go and blow upon the window pane, you see the frost of your spirit, the crystal patterns of your light, as they are arranged with the fire and the water of your breath. Thus there is a blessing to winter. Nothing else, just to see the joy of your spirit and its crystallized patterns to which you are evolving. In fact, that you have the crystallized nature within your spirit. You are becoming a crystallized vessel. Of precious jewels, of precious stones. Hewn out from the nations. Gathered as a collection of jewels for the Mishkan, the temple, the Heikel of Yahuwah. This is a cultivation ground, earth. This is a place where we come to minister to prisoners. Menachem Yah, sent to prisoners. Those that are chained, bound to their own ego or to things of this world that tries to enslave the soul unto vanity. We're here to set the prisoners free because we know there are precious stones within them that are appointed for the Heikel, the temple of Yahuwah.
It's a fact. That is a fact.
And thus we do not look upon the degradation or the mistakes or the enslavements or the passions or the lies or deceit that is there. We pass all that over by the garment of Gershon that robes them whereby we do not see their spot or wrinkles. We look past that, we see a unified garment having clothed the soul. And we see the precious stones that are there, and that's what we're cultivating. These are exciting days of cultivating our name and bringing forth the words of our spirit in sevenfold manifestation according to the 7 rings of Al-Hahim, or the 7 eyes, which are layered with messages. Thus within your seed name there are 7 eyes of Sham. Well, even if we look at the word Sham, it already tells us that there are 7 present. There is 13 present here, 21 here. Let's reduce them down further to 4 plus 3, 7. Thus when your spirit opens, your seed, it cracks open like a shell, like you've been in incubation under the wings of Hakama and Bayina, mercy. And you have been sown as an egg inside your mother. And that life is pulsating inside that egg. And the blood of your spirit has come out and is locked up in this egg. And Baina at night, and Hakama by day, they take turns, and they come over the nest. And when the sun comes up, Baina goes to her place, and Hakama takes over, sitting on the egg, till the day that that egg cracks. Your spirit wakes up, comes out of its state of rest and sleeping. And that eggshell gives way to 2 rings. Two rings of Al-Hahim, from which you are formed from the fire and the water. Thus we call this, when one receives their name, that they have the ring of momentum. And the ring of extension. Whereby what is in your spirit is able to move, come forth freely, and be supported in its movements. Commonly we call this, in this realm, the father lineage and the mother lineage. Father being the force of momentum, the mother being the force of extension. But in the realms of Shemuel, the congregation of Shemuel, which you read about in the book of Gad, we refer to these as the pairs of Al-Hahim, the rings of Al-Hahim that came together from their sacrifice, when they laid their all upon the altar, upon the day that they are drawn out and begin to give all that they have in the courses, within the courses of the lights. So upon that day, when there is the rings of Al-Hahim, and they come collectively as pairs, amongst the circle of their thoughts, there forms a square. And they lay upon this altar in Shemayim, the heavens, which your heart is according to the pattern above. That's why your heart is not deceitful, because it is made according to the order above. And everything, when you see the order above, you see your vessel, a chosen, clean, honorable, sanctified vessel for service.
To the circle